Hey you folks, and welcome back to Dungeons, Dragons, and Space Shuttles. So this episode and the next two are going to be weird ones because, unfortunately, I did not record any of my voice track for the 6 episodes coming, and I've decided to handle that by rolling each episode into each 2 episodes into 1 episode and then doing a voice track over them. So I have no real way as well of predicting how long those episodes are going to be, and there's going to be a lot of editing and there's going to be a lot of jumping around and me just kind of doing a, what do the kids call them these days? Reaction video to my own video. So the forward for this, I guess, is that I'm sorry. I wish I wasn't such a derp and had actually got the voice track on them. But things will continue as normal after the next 3 episodes. It's the way things are. So, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to cover in this episode is that I had to make a bunch of flint stuff to progress in the blacksmithing, Blacksmith's Workshop tab. And in fact, that's kind of the theme of this episode overall, is doing a bunch of stuff that I had to do because we already had a smeltery, and it's tedious and terrible, and I complain about the fact that that is kind of the way this mod pack works, is that it forces you to do a bunch of tasks in a certain order, even though you don't necessarily have to follow that order in the normal course of play. I'm also pointing out there that we have a loam charcoal pile now, but yeah, I just didn't really like the whole make a bunch of flint tools now scrub. And now I'm going to get some lava to go and smelt some stuff. Alright, so I wanted to come back for this one because, quite frankly, this is case in point of the problem, and I turn on cheating, as you see, because I didn't want to have to go and get the resources all over again to make the grout necessary to make the smeltery, because making the smeltery in the first place was such a chore that to just to satisfy the quest book in a quote-unquote legit manner felt like, no, I'm not doing that. I am absolutely not doing that. I'm just going to cheat this stuff in and we can move on. And then I explained that I will continue to cheat my way through this until we catch up to where we're meant to be in terms of the smeltery. And finally we catch up. So the next part that the book gets us to do is make a whole bunch of casts. And we do that until I can get to the point which I was trying to get to since the beginning of the episode, which is making a iron head for our pickaxe. And there it is. And then I simply continue doing some questbook stuff, making some more casts, because of course they want more casts, and let's see what else I get up to. Yes, I had this plan from the beginning of the episode actually, and I wanted to make a reservoir, because playing with Mischief of Mice and their friends, I realised, well, on their DDSS server, I realised that a reservoir is an invaluable tool, and I didn't make myself one on there until quite late. So what I wanted to do now was get that handled, so I did a reservoir for moving liquids around easily. And so we are in the process of making that. And then after that, I get a few more quests done in the quest book. But as far as I'm considered, the best progress here is that we finally make some ash bricks for the charcoal pile. And honestly, that pretty much wraps up that particular episode, and I'll be right on to the next one here in a second. Lost episode 6. So this is a very important episode that I am really cut up about this whole problem happening with how I'm having to handle this now. Because this is the episode that we finally get into the black magic tree of the quest book, which also means putting those testificates that we, the vindicators that we found and were so lucky to find, to use. We make a few discoveries this episode. The first discovery is a really simple one, but I thought I'd point it out anyway because I derp around for a bit. Not that you'll see that because I cut it out, but when playing with Mischief of Mice, the Acacia Comb comes with everything in it in certain earlier versions of the pack. But this time around, we actually have to make our Book of Evil. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. Then we make Obscure Glass, some Snares, some Hardened Blood Shards, a Dark Power Gem, a Blood Infusion Core, and then we run up against the Blood Infuser recipe. I realise the recipe sucks, and then pivot hard into Blood Magic. And here we are using one of those snares we made to try and get a demonic will crystal so that we can make a sentient sword so that we can get demonic will from these vindicators. So next we need to make a Hellforge. But I don't have any lapis, which means I need to go mining for lapis. And when I go mining for lapis, I search for like an hour and don't find any. However, along comes major discovery number 2. I find a dragon's den. If you haven't figured it out, this is a huge deal because it means in the future when we can take her on, we have the opportunity to have our own red dragon pet, which will be Flight. For us, and it will mean, it'll just mean we have a badass dragon, right? But I get the bright idea this episode, because I'm having such trouble finding lapis, why don't I raid her den and raid the chests? Well, the chests don't have any lapis, and I get eaten. So I go back to mining, I get the lapis, we make the Hellforge, and then we make a sentient sword. And anyway, we cap off this particular lost episode with filling our new petty Tartaric gems with lots and lots of will, thanks to our hard-acquired sentient sword. And that will bring us to a close. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to thank you for sticking through with this particular little experiment that I hope I never have to do again, because hopefully I'll be a little more on the ball when it comes to the audio issues. However, I can't beat myself up too much. We're making do with what we have, and I hope this little change of pace isn't too jarring or weird. Just keep it to yourself if it is. We've only got 2 more of these to get through before things return to normal. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.